IVM.
There's a quick survey to fill out on ivmpodcast.com/survey. It lets us know a little bit more about who's listening to us. And you know what? We're going to do a few prizes. So, we'll do a random drawing of maybe 10 people and we'll send you all some swag. Remember, that's ivmpodcast.com/survey where you can fill out the survey.
Hello and welcome to the Habit Coach Podcast, the bite-sized podcast filled with quick and easy actionable habits. Remember, great habits create that awesome life. I am Ashdin Doctor, your habit coach. And today's fun fact of the day has to do with the game Rock, Paper, Scissors. Did you know that the game Rock, Paper, Scissors originated in China? And that was around 206 BC during the Han Dynasty. The game was called Shao Su Ling. It involved a frog, which was represented by a thumb, a slug, which was the little finger, and a snake, which was the index finger. And the slug beats the frog, the snake beats the slug, and the frog beats the snake. Now, I don't know too many snake-eating frogs, but, apparently the frogs in China eat snakes. Continuing on, centuries later, the game was played in Japan, and it was called San Sukumi Ken. Now, for all of you who've learned Japanese from learning karate, you will understand this translation. San means 3, Ichi-ni-san, and then Ken means fist, and Sukumi means deadlock. In Japan, the game later on evolved into a magical fox that killed the village chief. The village chief, in order, killed the hunter, and the hunter killed the magical fox. Now, the reason why I'm telling you all this is to show you just how essential the game is to our development as human beings. It's been a part of our evolution for so many years. This is a game we teach our children and we play as adults. The version we play is called Rock, Paper, Scissors, where the rock is strong and can break the scissors. However, the paper is flexible and beats stone by covering it up. And scissors, being sharp, cuts the paper. The game teaches us 3 things that we often forget. 3 things that we should make a habit of. The first is the realization that everything has its strengths and weaknesses. No one object is all powerful, and we need to learn to use the right object for the right task. I often see people going through life using the same habits over and over again for everything. And if your only tool is a hammer, the solutions to all your problems appear as nails. However, you can't drill a hole with a hammer. Hence, you need to realize the strengths and weaknesses of your habits and the tools you have. The second learning is that in this game, you have to keep changing. Sometimes you're the rock, sometimes you're the paper. If you do not change, you become predictable. This means that the other person can easily beat you. I see so many people not willing to change themselves, their habits, as the situation demands. As a result, they become inflexible and vulnerable to change around them. If the world changes, you must change too. You cannot become predictable and set in your ways. The willingness to change and transform as the situation demands is essential. The last is the habit of predicting what other people will do. While yes, the game is a game of chance, however, the fun lies in trying to predict what will your opponent put out. And basis that, you decide whether you're going to do rock, papers, or scissors. We predict by noticing what the person has done in the past. Were they rock the last turn around? Were they paper the last turn around? Their body language, has it changed? And this habit is useful when it comes to dealing with others and even becoming a better communicator. So there are so many things that we can learn from this simple game. You can use it for making everyday decisions like which movie to watch when you and your wife or you and your girlfriend are sitting around and planning what to watch on TV. Or just entertainment and passing time. Yet, at its essence lies so many learnings for us to take into our lives. So your super simple habit starts by understanding the principles being taught to us by this game. Use the right tools and habits at the right time. Keep changing as the situation changes. Learn to predict and understand the other person. If you can make these 3 a habit, you will change as a person. And just like the game changed and evolved over centuries, so will you evolve and change. And of course, no episode of Rock, Paper, Scissors would be complete without giving a shout out to Big Bang Theory and its evolution of Rock, Paper, Scissors, Lizard, Spock. Usually in a podcast, it's me who speaks to you and you who listens. But I've been seeing your comments and it's time. It's me listening to you. Following the overwhelming success of this podcast, the good folks at IVM Podcast Network have decided to come up with a Kannada adaptation of the show for those who prefer listening to it in that language. Do make sure you let your Kannada speaking friends know about this as well. Now, if you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on social media. We are at IVM Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to reach out to me, I am at Ashdin Doc on Twitter and Instagram. We have a brand new habit coaching online course, quizzes, videos, and a lot more on the website awesome180.com. So check it out now.
Hey everybody, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On this round is on me. Gauri talks to friend of the network, Viral Jani. Viral is the EVP and country head for TimesBridge India. He tells us how his company helps marquee global brands set up shop in India. On Paisa Vaisa, Anupam talks to Sairi Chahal, CEO and founder of Sheroes, and Mahila Money. They discuss why women need a fair perspective on finance. On Think Fast, Varun and Suchita take a look at YouTube's interest in podcasting and the new super app Tata Neo. On IVM Likes, Antariksh, Snehal and Sparsh cover all the latest movie releases from Moon Knight to RRR. On Postcards from Nowhere, Utsav traces the history of the clove and how it was smuggled across borders. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you enjoyed this show or any of our other shows for that matter, do please tell a friend. Also, don't forget to rate us on any of the platforms you're listening to us on. You can check us out on YouTube as well. On ivmpodcast.com/YouTube, we have a list of all of our YouTube channels. Do check out if your favorite show is available as full video. We are also doing a small listener survey to better understand how you respond to our shows and advertising on the network. We'd really appreciate it if you could spare a few minutes to fill it out. It helps us build better shows for you. And finally, we'd like to thank our sponsors for this week, SBI Life Insurance, India Water Portal, and Jupiter, a digital banking app. Thank you so much for making this possible.
सफर, रास्ते, मंजिल और मुकाम अक्सर ये हमसे कुछ कहना चाहते हैं, पर हम हैं कि अपनी रोजमर्रा की जिंदगी में इन्हें सुनने से कतराते हैं। नमस्ते दोस्तों, मेरा नाम है केशव चतुर्वेदी और मैं आपको ले चलूंगा कुछ ऐसे सफर पर जहां आपको एक नया नजरिया मिलेगा सफर और मंजिलों को देखने का। आइए इन किस्से कहानियों में डूब जाएं। हर मंगलवार और शुक्रवार